Hello everyone and welcome back to Coaster Extra. We're still on Thrill Peak, episode number 6 now, and we're continuing on the disaster zone area, starting off with what looks to be a Schwarzkopf looping coaster, but actually it's a Vekoma family boomerang. However, this one has a launch. So instead of just going up a chain lift backwards and forwards, or a drive tire lift, whatever you want to call it, no, this one launches you backwards and forwards. I don't think there's any ride by Vekoma that's like this, but I think it would be epic, because as cool as family boomerangs are, I think with a launch that would really elevate them. It doesn't have to be super fast, it doesn't have to be super great acceleration. Just kicking off the ride with a launch and a couple spikes, forwards and backwards, would be very, very cool to see in real life. Anyway, you can see me starting it off now. You can see it launches backwards into a curve and then a backwards spike. Then you launch forwards to gain that extra momentum. You go over an airtime hill and then into a double down while you sort of come down. I don't know. No, you go into a double down, and then the sort of second half of this double down dives into the earthquake of this area, which, this is epic. It looks cool on ride, it looks cool off ride. I really like this element. I think it is great, and I think it really fits the coaster well. Anyway, you can see it all coming together now. I believe, I've finished the layout now, and you can see I'm experimenting with colours. Now, this coaster, I really didn't know what colour to make it, and I go through a few colour changes in this episode. I do end up with a final colour scheme that I like. This ride is meant to be sort of lightning themed, so you've got the sort of tornado themed Vekoma suspended thrill coaster. I can't speak today. The Vekoma suspended thrill coaster, that's sort of hurricane, tornado themed. You'll see me name that later in this episode from a comment. But this is lightning themed, and then you've got the two flat rides, one being tsunami and one being meteor themed. So it really fits the disaster zone area. We're getting everything in here. Well, mostly everything. And obviously you've got the earthquake going through the whole area. A lot is incorporated into this area, into making it feature a lot of natural disasters. So this coaster's lightning, and I'm going to need a name for it that obviously revolves around lightning. Now, the reason I went for a lightning theme of this coaster is because you obviously have the two spikes, and it kind of looks like bolts of lightning. It's not perfect, but when I change the colour later to make the two spikes yellow, it really sort of emphasises it. So I think lightning is a suitable theme for this ride, and it fits the area well, as I said earlier. Now, this coaster kind of intertwines over the pathways, just like the tornado suspended thrill coaster does as well. So these coasters almost tangle together at the front entrance of this area, which looks really, really nice. And then you can see it here diving into the earthquake and then back out, looking super, super nice. I really love that way. How it just goes into the earthquake. I think it looks really cool, and it looks really nice on ride as well, because it's quite a big drop that you sort of would catch you off guard, because it's a family coaster. You might have the couple spikes, but you might not realise that it actually dives very far down into the cavern. Anyway, I've named this coaster now. It is Steel-nado. Thank you to the person who commented that. I really do appreciate that name. You can see I've put in the queue line now, and I'm also going to build the entrance sign in this episode, which you will see very, very shortly. So yeah, you can see, most of the queue lines in this park are just a simple cattle pen, but I'm limited for space, so I don't want to waste a load of space that I could use for coasters and rides on a queue line that's well themed. I just think it's not worth it. So, you have a cattle pen queue. Not the best if it was in real life, but we're in Planet Coaster. It's gonna have to do. Anyway, now I am beginning to change the colour of this coaster to its final form. I am going for a dark grey track colour with white supports, so it's kind of like the dark grey is almost like thunderclouds, and then the white is like lightning strikes. Obviously being the supports, that makes sense as they're coming down. So I think that's a really, really nice theme. And then you have the yellow spikes, which are kind of like the big 2 lightning bolts. You can see them from basically anywhere in this area and also other areas. And the thing is, because these spikes, they're not huge or anything, they're not like super stand out, they're just like 2 verticals. You can't like, it doesn't really influence any other areas. Like you're standing in the western area, this doesn't make you go, oh, well, this doesn't fit the western theme. It's just a backdrop, really. And it fits, and I think that's what makes this sort of whole area really nice. It's like a backdrop for the park, and it works in that way very, very well. You know, I say it's like a backdrop. It's in the middle of the park, but it'll be fine. It works. It works as some surrounding scenery for some of the rides. Anyway, what you can see me doing now is I used some art shapes to make a couple lightning bolts to go on top of the spikes. Very cool. I like it. I might change the color of these to yellow. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to have a look in the next episode just to sort of experiment, see if it looks better being the same color of the spike or if it looks better standing out. Anyway, you can see me now building the steel NATO sign. So I did modify this off camera. I sort of added some rocks, made it a bit more sort of crooked. But you can see me now just placing down the letters. Now, the sign stays in the same place. I just sort of prop it up onto some rocks to make it feel like it really fits and isn't just some letters plonked on the ground. No, it actually fits now, and you'll probably see that next episode. Anyway, now you can see me making the entrance for this ride. I decided to do like a couple pillars. One of them's almost like falling over, and I think it works. I mean, it works for the colour scheme, certainly. It works for the sort of disaster ravaged area with it being so crooked. Why are the signs in this game so huge? I do not know, but I chose a suitably sized one, wrote a steel NATO on it, and obviously changed all the colours, looking very, very nice. Now, shortly you're going to see the POV for the coaster I made earlier. Remember, it needs a name. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I do hope you have a great rest of your day. If you enjoyed the video, leaving a like and subscribing would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.